Hello, welcome back to College Boy Taisen, episode 11. We're in our new era. We're in our new double-digit era. Digital Jacob out of the
Double digital dubbing.
So we have to hit all our marks first, to make sure nothing bad happens to our to our results. So I have to ask you, Jacob, how's your week been? How's college been? How's everything been?
Actually pretty good. Pretty good. Not to ramble for a minute, but
go ahead.
I had this big presentation due, right?
Yeah.
And so we were getting so there's 3 presentation days, and of course I get selected to go on the first day, right? But I was presenting last, so I felt a little bit more comfortable about it, right?
Yeah.
And then, top of that, have a group presentation to work on. But side tangent, that's been going surprisingly well. I haven't really had to do any work, so it doesn't really matter. But anyway, so hold on. And so the project, right? It was based on this whole big long paper I had to write. 10 pages, what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was a little bit worried about it, because one. It was about foreign media, and as we can see, foreign media talk about it a lot, and I was kind of embarrassed to actually give a presentation on it. So yeah.
But anyway, a little too much.
Yeah, I can't have them seeing what I do off the clock. But anyway, so Monday, it was Monday. Monday, I checked my email. Professor sends me an email saying he has COVID. So I'm so sorry he has COVID. Mm-hmm. Really am. He's a great guy. He's legitimately really nice. But so he's like, all right, guys, I'm canceling the presentations.
Nice.
So no big presentation for Jacob. It's great.
I love to hear that.
And then it's just been an all right week. It's been going well. Holidays coming up. Looking forward to that. Got a party tomorrow.
Party? Any Thanksgiving plans for the upcoming week?
I think we go to my grandmother's every year. Gonna do that. Maybe play some kickball that Friday.
Kickball.
I'm not big on Thanksgiving food, to really level with you. I'm not big on it.
Are you one of the people that's like, man, we should just get past Thanksgiving and go to Christmas?
Nah, I wouldn't say that. I enjoy going to my grandmother's and just chilling for a couple hours or two, but I don't like the food. I don't like mashed potatoes. I'm not big on turkey. How about you? How's your week been? Thanksgiving.
It's been certainly a week. For the audience to know, because it's currently Friday that we're recording. We were supposed to record last night, but I did a irresponsible moment, and so we're recording a day late. But it's okay. I got karma for that because a barber fucked up my head today, and I'm recovering mentally.
I also got a haircut today. That's funny.
I hope yours went better than mine. See, my brother took me.
I get the generic Lego guy haircut. It's all right.
My brother took me to a place that I've never been to before, and the big thing about this that appealed, at least from what I can see, is that they sold the cheapest haircuts in the entire area, and I was like, shit, I don't gotta spend like $40 for a haircut. That's all right. That's good. Until I found out why it's cheap. This guy is cheap for a reason.
you gotta stick to your guy.
Exactly. Now, the next time I see the guy I usually go to, I'm gonna tell him that I for just once I strayed away from the path. I'll ask for his forgiveness.
He's gonna beat your ass.
Never betray your own body.
I can't really say that because I go to the same girl every time. But I know if you go to a different person, they fuck the whole thing up.
Exactly, bro. That's that's an unspoken bond. But Thanksgiving is always the same every year. But I always like Thanksgiving because I'm proud. I could proudly admit I take no shame. I fucking love food. I don't give a fuck. And there is only certain foods that my parents make around this time of year, which is why I adore Thanksgiving. This may be a hot take, this may be a weird take. because people enjoy different tastes and textures. But deviled eggs is where it hits for me. I don't know why. I just adore deviled
eggs again.
They're like boiled eggs that you crack the shell off of. You scoop out the cooked yolk and mix it in with like a bunch of sauces and stuff, and like stuff like a scoop of that of like the mixture back into the egg and sprinkle like paprika on top, and it's great.
Yeah. I feel like I've had those, but I don't remember. I do love eggs. I'm a big egg guy.
But also, my mom makes this concoction that I've never heard of until before she started to make it, and I think it's been a tradition of like maybe 5 years going now. She has a thing called honey bun cake, where I think I don't know what kind of cake mix she gets. I think it may be like some kind of sponge cake, or some just normal cake. But basically, once she cooks it, she glazes it with like this kind of like honey bun glaze mixture, and it is dangerous. It is heavenly.
Nice. That sounds good.
It very much is.
Send me some.
I also have a strange Thanksgiving tradition. Shout out to my personal friend group, PWN. But every Thanksgiving for like the past 2 years, we just kind of get together if we can and watch a Spider-Man movie. Last year it was.
You gotta watch the first one.
Last year it was Spider-Man 1 by Sam Raimi. The year before that it was Spider-Verse.
Can we do a Spider-Man movie episode?
Maybe we can. Maybe we can talk about
December 17th.
We can talk about
the anniversary
Taism.
coming out. The best movie ever, Taism 2.
I think Taism 1's better.
One
day I will talk about my opinions about Taism 1, of how I used to hate it and now I kind of like it a lot.
I am a Taism OG since they put that teaser poster out of him on the wall with the spider coming down. I love Taism.
But today
Spider-Man movie.
Today we're talking about something that's above, not above, definitely, but maybe a little below Thanksgiving and Spider-Man. We were talking about our usual. It's back from what was the hiatus for? Golf? Was it golf again?
It's always golf.
It's always golf. We're back from golf. Kamen Rider Geats, episode 10. 10?
We are officially ahead.
We are ahead.
Screw you, Geats.
Jacob, what did you think about Kamen Rider Geats episode 10? I think this one's a real interesting one.
I liked it. It was I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I just say it's alright. Then, it gets deeper as we talk about it. Which
episode 9 kind of definitely started off like a, I don't know what to call. I wanted to call it a mid streak, but I
don't know. I feel like it can't. It could be a streak.
It's made in the least derogatory way possible.
Episode, what did I say? Episode 9 was fine. I don't remember.
Episode 9 it's mostly fine.
He did watch it this week, folks. We made sure.
I think something about this is it's a little strange, but I've been saying for a while that I think Geats is trying to do something new and trying to make sure that it has something that, whether I can't tell exactly if it's like a definitive Reiwa feel, because we do have to wait for a couple more seasons to come out to truly see like what that is exactly. It's definitely different from the past
like the
3.
cutoff of we can judge Reiwa on 5 or 6 or something.
I honestly say we can judge Reiwa right now, in terms of just how much we already have, but it's weird because it just definitely felt like the first couple of years were trying to find some kind of footing until someone chooses to make a big stride. That someone being Takahashi in this case.
Yup.
And I'd say the big change here is that for the past couple seasons we've definitely felt like it always feels like there's kind of a structure that's being followed every Reiwa season, of the first 15 to 16 episodes is the first status quo, the first arc, and then the next chunk, which is another 16 or so episodes up to around the mid to late 30s, is arc 2, and then the rest is arc 3. but it's always like a definitive 15 to 16 first. Those first 15, 16 is the first arc. But with Geats, it definitely already feels like we're out of the first arc already. Like not after these 9 episodes, it feels like all of that is definitively over. We're on the second arc.
I definitely agree there.
Which I don't know how I really feel. Maybe the shorter arcs could be better. Maybe you can get more going on. I didn't expect to change to the status quo this soon.
Especially with like, we're already out of the point of having, aside from the owl guy, which we'll get to that in a second, I assume. But like we're already out of having random guys in the cast. We're already done with that. They killed off the Ram girl, which was kind of upsetting. But
it was so mean spirited. Like, she's just flying away. She's like, I can't do this. And for some reason, the Jamato have a fucking RPG. And then once they shoot her down, just like 5 of them just start jumping her. Like, oh my god. Takahashi crave. All the jokes about that on Otaku Twitter low-key funny, by the way. I'm just like, damn, Takahashi says, no more than one woman at a time.
I was actually going to bring that up. How do you feel about that? Because I saw a lot of tweets about, I don't know, some of them might have been in like meant to be in a joking manner, but it was a lot of Takahashi doesn't know how to write women.
I definitely think
don't know how to love or something.
I definitely think it's taking. I do for the most thing. I do think it's a joke, and people are just trying to be funny. Mm-hmm. But I genuinely think there are some people that are just like, yeah, Takahashi doesn't want more than one woman. And it's just like, sure, I guess I can kind of see a point of that, but his first season ever still had 2 prominent female characters that were important in the plot.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like in XA Nico just got obliterated after becoming a Riot player. And like, sure, you can point to 01 and how Yaiba was treated and written, but like, my counterpoint is that all of 01 sucks, so yeah, whatever.
My counterpoint to his counterpoint is that Yaiba was a focal point in the first. It was literally like a focal point.
Yaiba was kind of pushing the plot along,
and like, I wouldn't even say pushing the plot along, but like she was pretty important for most of it, aside from the middle arc, I would say. So like, issues aside, with her writing, she was still a prominent piece of the,
Yeah, and also there's Izu if you want to count that, but like,
anything I just said kind of is screw Izu. And Azu.
I think it's less that, he doesn't want 2 female writers, but like, Geats is already set up like its tone, like it's already like it's shown like, oh yeah. The game is pretty ruthless, so anyone can just die. And it looks like in the preview of next episode, a Peepaw is gonna die, so...
That's his name?
I don't even... I called him Peepaw.
I thought that was his rider name.
Kamen Rider Peepaw. That should basically be... I don't even know his name.
It did. You gotta admit, the way you said it makes it sound like a rider name.
What's so funny, because I did not see the episode until, like, recently to watch it for this, and it's all I saw beforehand was a screenshot of the opening in which where Keiwa's spot is supposed to be. It was just an old man with a goofy little smile, and I was just dying. I'm so I feel like I've said this earlier on the show, where it's just like at some point I want them to do something where either the entire...
I love that you called this the show.
the entire cast the entire cast dies, or something happens, and we basically get like an entirely new main cast, in which it's not entirely new, but there's 3 new players. Granted, one of them died, but like the secondary rider is not even here. The old man's the secondary now.
I love how like people are still on the train, or like there's like a lot of people I saw like who are like, oh my god, Kay was back. Like, no shit, he's back. And then like,
what's interesting to me,
we can talk about this. We can talk about that later. I got another thing.
What's interesting to me is that Okay, because I talk about this at least once a cast ever since I had that funny little interaction with Icon. But I basically swore on like my entire family's grave, my entire family bloodline, that there was a rule in the Grand Prix that if you lost in the final round, that you get to come back for free next round. And this episode basically said no. That it's not that you get to come back the next round. It's just the game master brings you back if he thinks it's funny.
Which is interesting because I feel like that does not necessarily throw a wrench into things, but it more so makes it more interesting.
Well,
like,
yeah, especially because
who
like
he chooses, I guess.
he didn't want Keiwa to come back, and he didn't want Nago to come back until what happened later in the episode. But I think he's really for some reason dead set on having Buffa in, because we already know he's like he's trying to set up this plan to get Geats out, and so yeah, he's trying he sent Punchek in as like a secret agent to try and like get Geats to die, but like Buffa, like we don't know why he's keeping Buffa around.
Yeah, it's weird, and like, I mean, even like what I don't remember what episode it was. It was a episode 6-ish maybe, around in like sort of the middle.
When he said the whole like the final battle line.
Yeah, yeah, like this is it. This is who should fight or whatever. I forget. Like the scene of him on the screen, of looking at Buffa and Geats. There's something up. I think there's going to be something with Buffa and him. But I mean, that does make it more interesting, the fact that he picks out Punk Jack specifically to try to get Ace out.
Also, I think they kind of subtly confirmed something that we talked about of like, if you win and you get your wish, does it last forever even if someone else wins? And Ace had a line this episode of like, when Samuri was like, how long do I have to be your family? And Ace was like, until I'm no longer the god of desires. So it seems like, you're gonna be my family as long as I stay winning.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I do wonder if that means if you lose your streak, do you lose all your wishes?
Yeah, because one of his other wishes
would be interesting, but it'd be weird if anything.
The ones I watched did not sub his other cars that they showed on screen, but I did see a tweet.
Mine didn't either.
I did see a tweet that one of them said like, my wish is to play in the Desire Grand Prix until I die.
Yeah, that was his Yeah,
I didn't see what the other one was, like the second one.
Yeah, I think because GemCorp took. I usually watch GemCorp, and I think you do too. And they usually sub those, but they didn't. They took a minute for this, and I didn't get to watch theirs, so I'm not sure. But yeah, they weren't subbed, but there is definitely 100% one that says, "I wish to play infinitely." So and I saw one of my friends said this actually. He wonders if what caused the Grand Prix to continue to be infinite all this time, because Ace wished that.
Mm-hmm.
Which I could see, but I'd find it weird if that was actually the reason of like, oh, Ace wished for it to be infinite, so we've just kept going. But that doesn't really add up, because even the Game Master's like, a new season has started, so like clearly it's supposed to be.
I was gonna say, I actually really enjoy the scene where Buffa gets his core back. I think that scene's really funny, because just beforehand he's like, oh my god, you're that popular celebrity, oh my god, can you want to give me an autograph, really? Oh my god, I'm so honored. And then he gets his memories back and he's like, oh my god, you fucking bitch, oh my god, I can't believe you did this.
You ruined my shirt.
Yeah.
I saw your tweet. Somebody was like, that shirt's just ruined. He's never gonna wear that again.
Ace is so disrespectful, and I love that. I saw everywhere before this thing got subbed of like, everyone's like, God, Buffa's changed. He's so different. And like, I agree to an extent. Like, he's changed a little bit, but I think people are kind of over exaggerating. People are acting like he did a complete 180.
I feel like he has changed, but
this will
show my forgetfulness.
It's a bit of a subtle change.
I feel like he didn't necessarily care that much about what people were wishing for anyways. I think it's more now he's just supporting people in the fact of what they're wishing for.
I would say that, right, of like, oh, he cares, But then there's like the scene where the sheep girl gets jumped, and he's just like, "That's what you get, loser." And it's just like, "Oh my god, Buffa."
I mean, he ain't wrong. He ain't wrong.
And also, the one thing I do think is more noticeably a change is that as how he reacted to the team game. Like, of course, he said like, "Oh yeah, this shit is rigged. I got put with the two useless people," which I think is kind of funny. But it does contrast with how he reacted in the previous team game we saw with Tycoon, where he's just like, "Oh, my teammate is useless. I'm not even gonna try to work with them. I'm gonna try to do this on my own." This time he actually tried. Mm. Well, he didn't like try to force them to fight. He was like, "Can you guys please just pull your own weight?"
Which, I mean, yeah, they should have, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of get the grandpa, but like, I'm not really sure what the girl's deal was outside of, "Oh, I don't want to fight." Like, I don't really understand, because she was just kind of standing there and then she runs away. You know, I thought that was weird. It felt like
she didn't want to risk her life.
Set up to get Nago back.
It's interesting that Nago wasn't initially picked, but I guess this episode was like we got to see further into the Desire Grand Prix higher up staff rather than just the employees like Pumpjack. At least that's what everyone's been saying with that with Nago's dad.
Why? Yeah, I was gonna say. Is it implied that he was the one who said something, or is it implied like?
And like he's even like, "Oh, you have a guest waiting for you. Isn't there a wish you forgot, Neon?"
Did he say that? Yeah,
he's like, "Oh, you did. Isn't there a wish you forgot?" And so, Jacob, I have to ask you the question, because everyone, ever since Takahashi did some things in X8, everyone swears on their mama that everything is gonna happen again. Do you think
Time Fire will become a Kamen Rider?
Do you think we have a Chronos too?
I mean, I feel like he showed up for like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I feel like it's really, what did I just say? I feel like it's too early to tell.
I mean, Dan only had wait, no, both of them are named Dan. Masamune. Masamune.
Okay, Masamune's like,
he only had one scene before he really came back to be a writer.
I can't really. I feel the Masamune thing's weird because it's clearly like.
And you see,
this is what I heard this a minute ago.
This is why
it's
I
clearly
always
supposed to have been Dan.
This is why I always say that Takahashi is good character writing, but not story writing.
Like at least for Masamune thing was clearly last minute. Like they did not intend for him to come back whatsoever. They just needed something because they couldn't have Kuroda be a villain again. So like this. I feel like it depends on what we see in the future. I could see him being a Chronos too, but
honestly,
like
I could
really
see him being more of a villain more than the Game Master, because like we've talked about before, there's still nothing really that makes me think he's evil. Like, sure, he kind of wants Ace to die, but like, dog, if someone just started winning every game I set up, I kind of want him to die too, bro. Someone else needs to win. So
just call that a skill issue on the Game Master's part. He should just make things more difficult.
Honestly, I feel like that might be where it's going. Like maybe Punkjack dies on the field or just fails to get Ace to lose, and so he's just gonna be like, "I'll take matters into my own hands," and picks up a Desire Driver. Which I feel like that's the big prediction everyone has, that the Game Master is going to be a writer eventually, because no, that's just how Kamen Rider works now.
I would agree with that, but we have like I don't know when it's coming out, but there's like a soft vinyl listing for the Game Master, so I wonder what that's supposed to end up. Like,
I think actually
the outfit we see,
it would be really cool if he was a pseudo writer.
Yeah,
like a big power pseudo writer.
It doesn't sound like that's what we're getting. We haven't got
Kamen Rider Game Master.
Yeah, two Kamen Rider that also ends in an ER thing. That's nice. I love when they do that.
Something. I'm thinking about Neon right now. Neon, I think it's interesting the route they're taking with Neon. Because I was wondering beforehand of like, they very much set up like a status quo with her character in the first arc of just like, yeah, I want to find true love, but now it kind of feels like they're not only are they trying to continue like her story of trying to get away from an abusive home, but it seems like they're also using her character as a way to further delve into the lore. And I think that's interesting.
Mm.
It's an interesting
I
way
do.
to kind of keep her story from becoming stale.
I think it's also interesting. I think it's also interesting too that like that he's the game master picked her over somebody like I guess the obvious thing would be Tycoon, right? Like he
Honestly,
picks her, so
I think it'd be funny
I think it's super
if we
interesting.
learned that like, oh, I didn't pick Tycoon because Tycoon doesn't want to play the game like how it should be. He's a little bitch that wants peace.
Exactly, that's what I was gonna say. Because Tycoon was Tycoon, K was the one coming in there, and not necessarily fucking everything up, but he was like
Guys,
trying
we
to push
should
everybody
work
to
together. Honestly,
I don't know. I just
uh,
thought it was interesting.
I thought it's actually interesting to see that in the previews next week they're gonna have this labyrinth game where there's gonna be hostages and Kay was one of them.
Is he? I didn't see that.
It's in the previews on the website. It's just, it's like Kayla and 3 other people and like these like collars, these prison collars.
Yo,
And so
colors.
what makes me wonder is that since we saw in like episode 8 or 9 or 7 or 8 that it doesn't have to be your own ID core, or I guess you don't even have to be a writer. If you just touch an ID core, you get memories back. So if someone saves him and he like touches their waist for any reason, is he just gonna be like, oh fuck?
Hey, Ace, it's you. Fuck you.
Hey, oh, also, yeah, no, oh, that actually did remind me. I've always been on my idea of just like, oh, Ace is slowly learning to become more social and like care about people and like how to not hide it. And I really enjoy his line this week of like, I just hope Tycoon's doing good. Like even if it may be like joking or sarcastic. Just I hope Tycoon's doing good.
I love that too. Like he opened up to Neon about his wish. That was the first time he said it to like anybody.
That's the first time he opened up.
Special.
It's the first time he opened up since he answered Kayla's question of how long he's been playing, and no one believed him. And so it's interesting to see like, oh, I this is what I'm doing. If whether you believe me or not is up to you. I don't really care.
Especially too when it's like he acknowledges Neon as one of his rivals now. So
yeah.
it's even. I wouldn't call it weirder, but it's even more special. That's a better way of putting it.
It's very clear that
he says it to her.
Ace has mutual respect for the people he calls rivals, even if he's kind of a little shit towards them. It's funny. Really I like Buffa's line of when Neon comes back and like she's just like, I can't wait to be your rival again, Michinaga, and Buffa's still just like, I do not consider you a threat. I only care about beating Geats. Like man's a dedicated hater.
I appreciate that. I'm no longer a hater though, so you know.
I'm
a lover.
Sumeri, the whole thing with her is kind of funny because I honestly I am so indifferent towards her character because I feel like I don't really have a reason to care. She's just had cute moments here and there. So it's just like, oh yeah, she's funny.
I'm down terrible.
I know people have really. She has her sims, she has her lovers, all that stuff. But
thank you.
I honestly before like
I don't think she's like
before
crazy.
Saber and Revice, which I know saying Revice might make this hypocritical, but I felt like if those two shows didn't happen, I would have been sure that like a couple episodes from now, Sumeri was gonna get a belt and be in the game. But like honestly, it's stuff like because like I feel like wanting her to become a writer was probably how I would feel back then when I wanted May to be a writer in Saber, and that just never happened. So it was like I had faith, like, oh my god, they could just have compelling side characters that aren't Kamen Riders. And then
he's crazy because like,
and then Revice came around,
like,
and I was like, oh man, I love these cast of characters. And granted, at least the mom never became a writer.
is that's really the saving grace? At least the mom didn't become a rider.
Listen,
at that point, should have just made the mom a rider.
It is all I have, because literally every other character is a Kamen Rider. even fucking Hikaru. We were talking about how I basically was holding on for hope that just because the mom didn't become a writer, I'm just holding on.
I was defending Hikaru for a minute. So, here's the thing.
What are we? Ooh, actually, that could be a fun topic of just talking about all the revised stuff that came out because of the book.
Oh my god, maybe we'll get to that. Well, I wanted to talk about the Winter movie, so maybe we can.
I actually really wanted. There's something big I actually did want to say about that. Just as a whole.
Do you want to save it
before? You can go first because I have so many thoughts.
Well, the side character thing. This is more a general thing, but I'll use Hikaru as a focal point and Mei a little bit too. Like, Hikaru is perfectly. I think I'll defend this. I'll defend Hikaru for a minute. I think his arc, albeit small, is much better than half the other characters in that show who want to become riders. Like, Aguilera wants to become a rider within one episode of her turning good, I believe. Like one or two episodes. At least Hikaru has a whole little, maybe 3 or 4 episode build up. And then Julio is just kind of robbed of anything, and he just kind of gets handed down of over demons.
I can agree. Because I do, like, honestly, any like, harsh things I say about the Hikaru as a character at this point is just jokes, because I do think they salvaged his character in a good way, so he has this big moment against Kaishi. But, like, at the end of the day, the difference between characters like Kamen Rider Aguilera and Julio Demons is that at least I knew their name before they became a writer.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not necessarily going to defend that, because that's more on the show.
Yeah, Kinoshita. I guess. We tried to see what he was cooking, and, maybe there was a little bit of a kitchen fire.
There's so much stuff in that fucking little book that pissed me off.
The day Shame translated all those pages. Oh Lord.
I was getting.
It's
screw you, Icon. By the way, screw you. I don't know if you listen, but screw you.
Half of it. It's so funny seeing like how half and was, because half of it was just this show could have been so much worse, and the other half was this show could have been so much better.
I can't wait till we get the Geats book, and it's like, yeah, Sumeria was supposed to become Letter, but we didn't want to kill her off so early, or whatever.
But if we're gonna move on to the Winter movie,
I got a little bit more on the episode. There's a little bit more.
Okay. Come on, give the Jacob take.
So, one, I love actually the debut of Beat. It is probably my favorite buckle in the show. It might be my favorite form so far.
I love the guitar axe. I absolutely adore the guitar. The guitar
is fantastic, and the toys for both are actually legitimately cool. Like
honestly, I originally
weighing on the guitar.
I originally hated that the buckle was just a piano, but now kind of seeing like it's better to take in the entire form how they present it in the show, because it feels just more like it's not just piano, but like a more general just musician form. Because the beat is like a piano and a turntable. She has a guitar as a weapon. She has speakers as shoulder pads and like a wave thing on her chest. Headphones.
I will say,
it's cool.
This is a nitpick. I really don't like how Punk Jack is a musician, but he doesn't have the music buckle. I get it's because of his actor. It's funny. But I hate when they do stuff like that. Like, it infuriates me to no end. Because it's like, why didn't you just give this to him? And, like, I get, they don't plan they plan the designs before they plan the character. Fine, whatever. But it just bugs me. It really does. Like, this is the only other example. But, like, Banjo not getting a punching weapon until Magma. Like, that kind of bugs me. Because it's like, why did he have a sword when he was a boxer,
And then you got the twin breaker.
Yeah. But, Yeah, I love Beat, and then
Honestly, I do.
Punk
I
Jack.
kind of really hope we get a scene where just Punk Jack and Nago kind of rock out together.
I'd like that actually. I'd actually really like that. That would stop my nitpick a little bit. Honestly, that'd be cool. But
Actually,
no,
my
Punk Jack
I
himself.
do have a big question for you then.
Do tell.
Do you think Punk Jack's personality is a part of him acting, or do you think it's just something he has that's like alongside of his mission?
Like the over the topness.
Yeah, the over the top rock star.
Good.
Because I feel like it would be really funny if that was just him casually. But I'm honestly really expecting, like, once everything is revealed, he's just like, I don't even fucking like music.
I feel like it is I feel like that is him, but he is amping, like he's turning himself up to 11. Like, I feel like he's not, obviously he isn't that over the top, because we see, like, when he's like, oh, I wonder how Ace is gonna get out of this one or something, but like,
Yeah.
I do feel like maybe we'll see more, like, once everything gets revealed, like you said. I wonder if, like, it will turn down, he'll be more low-key, but he'll still have, like, the guitar shit or whatever, but...
Something I'm wondering...
No, that's a good question.
Something I'm wondering is... I both don't care, but I also don't really like how quickly Michinaga and Ace kind of dropped the whole thing with him. Of just, like, he has Punk Jack's ID core. Oh, it's clearly not Punk Jack. He's too much of a weirdo. But it's just like...
that didn't make any sense.
I understand with Azuma, because Azuma, I guess he's still kind of new to the Grand Prix, but, like, they make such a big deal out of Ace knowing the rules better than anyone. So I would think he would have known the whole thing of, like, only one person can have an ID core, like a specific ID core.
Yeah, I don't really like that. I feel like it should have been like a not like I don't get why they're trying to make it like a mystery to them, like the characters, because like it should be obvious, because he's literally turning into the same rider that you guys saw.
He literally screams out after transforming, "I'm Punk Jack!"
like I'm not I know, like, maybe they're gonna do something with it, but it feels really stupid to go, oh yeah, this guy's totally not the same Punk Jack. Like, it clearly is.
Yeah.
Like I understand they don't know how it works. I understand, like,
because I felt that's how I felt, because I felt like the one person I would expect to know how it works is Ace, but I guess there's even rules he still doesn't know.
I don't know. I feel like it's just dumb. It really is, because like I know there's other Kamen Rider shows where it's like, oh well, it has multiple users, but like.
Yeah, but
going by the logic in this show, they should know that.
They specifically set up a rule by them, like the show itself set up a rule where it's like you can't really have multiple users.
And like, I think it's also pretty clear that like the ID cores are tailored to who you are.
Yeah,
it's not like they just manufacture these. Well, I guess they do, but you get what I mean. They like mass produce. That's a better word, or better phrase rather. But I don't know. I don't.
It's an ID core. It's an identity core.
And I still don't like Monster, to be perfectly honest with you.
I think it looks better in action. I hated it on Punk Jack in the pictures, but it looks better in action.
It looks fine. It's just that I don't think it fits with the buckle or the name. But maybe, I don't know, maybe they'll do something and it turns, like, monstrous. Like the Jamato Riders, which I actually think are pretty cool, to be honest.
I wonder... I feel like they probably won't, but I think it'd be cool if they did say Henshin, or have like a weird Jamato language where they say Henshin.
I'd like that. I do wonder if we'll get like a Grongi subtitle version of that, of like whatever they're saying one day.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Plus, there's still the whole working theory that the Jamato is just dead riders. And I don't know if that will get debunked. Also, really? now that I watched the sub for episode, I'll bring this up as a quick point. It is really stupid how the final round works out. We kicked the can out of the area. The can is out of the area. Like, it is definitely 100% out of the area, but the area expanded anyway. So the game is still going. That's some bullshit.
And then I love how so there's a line next week. There's a line in the preview for next week where the game master, what is his name? What is his name?
Giroi? I don't know.
I don't know.
Butler Man.
Fuck. Fuckface. So Fuckface is like, oh, the Jamato are evolving past I don't know. He just says the Jamato are evolving. I don't know if he says our control. But, like, does that mean the Jamato are just an outside force that just kind of participate with the game? Because that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that I'm so confused about when they just drop random lines here and there. Like, the first game that has the main cast is just like, the Jamato took our raise buckles. And it's like, okay, when? How? Why? And this game is like, we have stolen these flags that make them strong. How? When did you get these flags?
I sort of wonder if the Jamato came first or the game came first and the Jamato are like you get what I mean? Like the game was built around the Jamato.
There has to be
the game came because of the Jamato.
There has to be some sort of twist because the Jamato are so like video gamey. Like they're so gimmicky. Like there's no way they're just like a species of evil that exists.
I think they're like, I don't know. I hope it's not a twist where they do. This is a weird thing to hate, or not hate, more so dislike. And I don't like when they do the twist of, the organization was evil the whole time.
Actually, I was gonna bring that up, and more specifically, a shout out Fred Ballin because I feel like he was the big person that kind of talked about that. I don't know. I kind of feel like this episode is kind of the start of like, oh, maybe the Desire Grand Prix is a little morally evil instead of just morally gray.
Yeah.
Because they're like, I want to kill Ace. Just get him out of here.
Yeah, I can pick whoever I want to join. I will say, side note, really quick, it does seem interesting that like he has to get approval for who he wants to join.
Yeah.
It seems like he has to go, hey, I want so and so in. I guess more so because it's after the game already started, but I do think it's interesting he still has to get approval for that. But
something I also think they put like a kind of bit of a focus on it, and it's weird, but I wonder if it has really any significance really. But the whole scene where Tycoon just says things he wouldn't normally say, I feel like that's trying to like foreshadow something.
Yeah, when me and Noel were watching the episode, he was saying the same thing. It is like a little bit odd that he's acting like that, especially with I think the biggest thing is obviously him going, what? No, I don't want. He doesn't say this. I'm just saying this in my own words. He's like, I don't want Tanuki, whatever it's called, Soba, I believe. But no, that is. I wonder if they are setting up something for that, because it's like maybe they're just trying to make him forget about everything relating to the Grand Prix. Who knows? But I think there is something there. I'm not sure if it's necessarily going to build up to anything, but I do wonder if it's going to be like a note. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's going to be like a big reveal, but I do wonder if it's going to be like a amount to anything rather, I guess.
Something I feel done with my thoughts of now because I do want to talk about the Winter movie. I want to talk about that.
Go ahead.
So before I give my big analytical thought, I have to get out the non-analytical thought that's just me being a super fan. Oh my god, he's back! The goat! Shinji Ryuki is back! Oh, I didn't think they would do anything for his 20th.
I haven't seen Ryuki, guys. I'm just letting you know.
I am so much of a Ryuki fan that when I first joined Twitter, I purposely tried to get myself known as the Ryuki guy. And while I don't really go by that anymore, I'm not really known by that. I don't really talk about how much I love Ryuki on the timeline a lot. Ryuki is my favorite. It is my favorite of all time. It is near and dear to my heart. So what I saw after the episode that they just had a trailer where Shinji showed up at the end, oh, I was crying. Oh, I was crying so much. Especially for the Battle Royale season. Oh, he's gonna be in there and be like, you guys need to save the world. And Tycoon's gonna be like, I like this guy. But
and Tycoon's gonna see that he has a job, and he's gonna be like, he's not just like me for real.
Now for my analytical thought, for the most part, it does seem like Reiwa movies kind of do try to take place in their canon of the show.
Yeah.
And in general, most movies, but like this, kind of do seem like they try to fit within the canon. I guess one of the big examples I can think of maybe is Cho Superhero Taisen. It was around when Kiria died, so Kiria was dead in the movie. Or Saber and Revice, really, they're both before big moments in the plot, like the Trader arc or Hiromi dying. So things are fine there.
Yeah.
And so the big thing with this with me here,
the Falcon movie directly tying into the second half of the show.
And the thing with me here is that this is coming on like December, right? So it would like kind of coincide with how the show's currently going plot wise in December, and Tycoon's in the movie. So of course, obviously Tycoon is always probably going to be meant to come back. He's a fucking secondary writer. But the big question that I've had all these weeks is just when, like, because I thought he was only going to be gone for like maybe an episode or two, but he's been gone for a decent chunk now. And so I'm wondering when exactly we're going to see him again so he can be in this movie. Either that, or they can just go completely non-canon because Ryuki is there. I don't know. They can just switch up everything. I could be lying on my ass.
I mean, you know, Ryuki's got like 3 different timelines. It's a second timeline. You know, talking as a Kamen Rider bootlegger for a second. I like when they bring the old guys back because I enjoy seeing team ups. But outside of that,
also it's interesting that
Hiromi's not on the poster, so it's going to be awful.
It's interesting that they're double billing this as like Geats, the Geats movie, and Revice's final story.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that because it's been years since they've done the whole. Okay, guys, here's the crossover, but it's actually 2 separate movies, and then they team up for the last 30 minutes. It has been years since they've done that. The last time was Gaiman Drive, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
And like the format of having everybody show up at the start and team up has been fantastic, and I will stand by that.
It's also just
is a great movie.
It's also just interesting to see because even in the pictures, it's like we see other writers already working together. Like John and Nago versus Oja, the goat is back. But like they're working together to fight him. I think there's also one, not Oja. It was Knight. But my 2 favorites from these shows, Michinaga and Asakura, Buffa and Oja are gonna have a fight.
Buffa getting cooked, if we're being real.
Honestly, yeah, no, he may be the quote unquote Oja of this season because the pan is gone. He's kind of filling in, but he's also not. He's really not built like that. He's not that guy.
He's not him.
He ain't him, bro.
And they got Onyx back from Dragon Knight to fight Tycoon. I'm looking forward to seeing Adam back. Big fan of him.
All right, now you play. Now you play with my emotions.
That's actually a lie because Kit was Onyx. I don't think Adam ever was Onyx. No, Adam was Dragon Knight the whole time. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he was. I'm stupid. I'm a fake Dragon Knight fan. Sorry, Ballin.
But just, I'm wondering if they're gonna have a Zelda because I don't remember seeing a Zelda on the poster in the pictures.
It doesn't seem like that, especially the fact that they have. I think the fact that they have Ryuga on the poster instead. I think
that kind of makes me sad because Zelda's one of my favorite tertiaries. But at the same time, if it's gonna be within the timeline, then it makes sense for certain story reasons and stuff. But also, not anything after Ryuki does not make sense story wise. So I don't see why it would matter. I don't know. I love every now and then Toei is just like, we're gonna fuck up the ending of Ryuki yet again.
Ryuki's ending. I know what it is. Haven't seen it.
Ryuki has like 6 endings, bro. That shit's like a fucking JRPG.
What was I gonna? Alright, so to go back to my little spiel for a second about the separate stories.
The double bill,
I don't like why are you going, this is Revice's last story and then we're gonna do the movie? Like, why can't you just do the movie? You know?
There's also interesting stuff going on too, because it really, from all the promoting, does seem like it's like one story. but like
Yeah.
everything else kind of like says it's like, oh, it's just like every other team up movie, but then it's just, oh, it's also Revice's final story.
So I don't know. Maybe it's just a weird translation. It could just be that, and it is actually one movie.
Because there is a Vice ID core. I need it. I need it now. I want it.
He was not on the first poster, but they put him.
They put him in the
dead.
They put him in the advertising of he's gonna come back, but I'm pretty sure he's probably just gonna die at the end of the movie because that's how shit like this is.
If he doesn't die at the end of the movie, I'm actually gonna be kind of mad. I was gonna say mad at you. I don't know.
Honestly,
I was full tilt gonna go. I'm gonna be mad at you.
I am always someone. I am always someone that advocates for good writing. If a character is dead and should stay dead, they should stay dead. If they come back for something, they should die at the end of that thing. It doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't really matter how good they really write it. My only exception to that is the O's 10th, but that's for a whole other complex reason. But like the other half of me that is feral brain and doesn't care about anything is just like, well, like, it'd be cool if Vice just came back. It'd be cool if he just chilled.
There's the don't care part of me who's like, oh yeah, I don't care if he comes back to life. It really doesn't matter because I can just think he's dead again anyways. But like, on the other hand, they killed him off. Like they made a big deal about it. Why did I say it like that? At the very least, they didn't bring him back in the show or in that after prologue v cinema. Yeah. So I appreciate that. So I'm fine, but I hope it's not some wonky writing.
My hope is that Vice doesn't come back until like a decent chunk way in. Like I feel like it'd be a little weird if
I would
either
appreciate that, and then
either that, or if he does come in the beginning, he leaves before the climax.
I would appreciate too if they do something like what was it called? Heisei Final with Ankh, and they bring him back, but that's like, it's a, because honestly, thinking about that movie in relation to this one, that one made a big deal about Ankh coming back. They haven't mentioned Vice at all, really, like in half the promo material for this. Like he's just on the poster. That's it. He's not in the trailer. Or the teaser rather. Like he's not in it whatsoever. So I find that interesting.
Something about this because Toei is weird with canon because apparently like every single every goddamn Revice special is canon for some reason, no matter what they do in it. And it can be the craziest shit like Axel appearing or something. But like, is this movie canon to Revice? Does it take place after the V Cinema? Is there a reason Hiromi's not in it?
I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna actually like go full tilt, like gonna be angry and sad that he's not in the movie. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I'm gonna be very pissed.
I hope they at least mention him. Like at least Daichi has a line.
I hope he's just in the movie. Because if he's not in the movie, it's dumb. Because he's like,
I feel like a lot of Revice's actors probably won't come back for it.
I'm a dick rider.
Genta probably not.
He is the most He's the most popular character in that show. So I don't get it. I don't get why you want to put him in the movie. It could have been a Hiromi versus everybody movie. No, had to have the Ryuki guys come back.
You see, I love Hiromi too. I will always be a Hiromi dick rider.
Well, I know.
But Ryuki's dick a little bigger. You fit.
We just had Shinji. You want what's funny? We haven't seen a lick of any of them out of the suit.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna laugh.
I mean, no. We know for sure that they have Oja's actor on board. He is there.
I'm gonna laugh though if none of them are out of suit. I'm gonna laugh. I'm not even joking. Not laugh at you. I'm not gonna laugh at you because I'll feel bad if they're not in it. But like, it'll be funny if they're hyping this up as like, Ryuki's back for the 20th. Just kidding. But I actually do think they're going to be back.
You know what's my biggest fear?
For the movie is Free Kido Shinji. I believe it is.
You know what's my biggest fear though?
What is it?
Usually my biggest fear when it comes to side content is whatever Icon says. Whatever Icon says, that's my biggest fear. And Icon is like, oh my god, Oja's in this movie. This movie is gonna be the connection to Outsiders, which is gonna connect Geats to Outsiders. And I was like, oh my goodness.
What else funny? I don't think we've ever actually mentioned Outsiders on this show. I don't think we've talked about it once. Maybe we have, and I'm misremembering, but I don't think we've talked about it once.
The episode 0 came out, and honestly, I still haven't watched it.
I haven't seen it either. I saw Smart Lady get washed by Gem Muso, and I was like, all right,
honestly, low-key, I'm kind of just waiting to see if they give Oja a survive mode or just the Renin Disaster episode.
I'm waiting for them to kill Hirobi again.
Hell yeah!
Fuck that guy. Fuck Hirobi. And I was gonna say fuck 01, but I don't know. Maybe we hate on 01 too much.
Maybe we need to give Chris a break. Obligatory Chris mention.
Chris, can you get a computer, please?
Please.
Can you please? We need to do an episode.
We can talk about whatever you want, buddy.
Can we do it? We need to get Will on here.
We do.
We actually legitimately need to get Will.
Will like, is anyone who is listening to this who is, I guess, just in case if you aren't in the know.
If you for some random reason don't follow us on Twitter at @GuySilicon at Ghially, the L's are eyes, by the way.
We have a buddy, a friend to all, maybe a friend named Will. At Justifies on Twitter. I don't know if the eyes know. You have to look at it. Just look up Will Justifies. It'll probably come up. He is low-key the best analyst in the community. Because he is so.
I think it's a she.
I will fact check myself. She they.
I think I believe it's a she. I looked the other day.
Will is the.
We'll go with a they. Go with a they.
You know what? No, I'll fact check myself right now, but I'll keep talking. Will is so dedicated to just analyzing whatever is consumed by them, like they threads upon threads. Like, it shocks me. Like, it's and it's always something so deep. It's always something so heavily thought about, so well thought out. They. Sorry, Will.
It might be any and all, though. I was looking at the card the other day.
I just checked the Twitter bio right now. It just says they. I remember because back during Revice episode 18, my favorite episode in the entire show, I made it like a 20 tweet. God, that's a weird words. 20 tweet long sent thread about how much I love it, and ever since then, Will has always been like, Ghia, this is so good. I love you analyzing. I've been inspired off you to make threads of my own analyzing stuff, and even
Ghia Impact.
Yeah, even though they said I'm what started them on this. They have made it their thing. Like they have
Will Impact.
They have very much made it their thing, and I am proud of them. She is thriving, and she is welcome to be on the show anytime she wants.
I don't know. Me and Will kind of got like a love-hate thing going on.
Yeah. As long as she's not gaslighting Jacob on Twitter.com.
Don't. Fucking Makima head ass.
We'll become Ultraman CBT. Will become the T.
T for they.
Exactly. Ultraman,
what am I?
they, them.
Did we decide what letter I am?
I don't know. You want to be the C or the D, Jacob?
I don't know, because I feel like... That's a good question. I feel like... I was going to say I should be the C because I've been in college longer, right? But at the same time, I'm going to get it out before you. So it doesn't really work, right? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
You get the logic there?
Yeah.
But then the boy... I don't know. It feels weird to be the boy in College Boy. Do you know what I mean?
But yeah, shout out Will. Shout out Chris. Obligatory Chris mention.
Shout out my mom.
Shout out...
No reason.
Shout out Kinoshita for not making Hiromi over demons.
Okay, you know, on one hand, I'm glad. Because they fucked up the stag. They fucked it up. On the other hand...
I guess
I don't
maybe
know.
if he didn't become over demons, it wouldn't have led way to how everything ends up in episode 44. So I guess there's a trade-off.
It's episode 43, actually.
43,
Check.
yeah. 40.
Episode 43. Greatest piece of television I have seen. Just kidding. That was episode 1 of 1,000 Year Blood War. I don't know, man. Okay. I want to talk about it because it's been pissing me off.
Speak what's on your mind.
On God's
Speak what's on your mind.
Green's Earth did they go, okay, let's make the Weekend Driver. Have it be honey themed. Let's make Aguilera a bee rider.
And Julio's gonna be a bear. It was gonna be double.
Stroke of genius.
A double theming.
I'm not joking. That is legitimately genius to go, let's make him a bear rider because they like honey. And then they go, you know what?
He's just gonna be over demons.
No. I'm stroking my chin that sounded terrible. I'm stroking my chin, by the way, while I'm saying this.
He's gonna be over demons in the last 3 episodes of the show. That's all he gets.
Let's do that. But on top of that, let's make over demons look like absolute ass. I'm talking shit. I'm talking terrible. And give it to him and Hikaru. Why? Why do you do this? Why do you do this? And everyone has the audacity to call me wrong. No, I'm not wrong. I'm tired of it. Fuck you guys. Over Demons is awful. Over Demons is terrible.
I think my biggest thing that I've been holding on to since then is learning that like the names for like the stream and Over Demons weren't the intended names, and I've been saying about those 2 writers since day 1 that the stream felt like fucking nothing, and Over Demons is such a wasted name.
God, fuck them, fuck them. I'm so pissed off. Because Over Demons is such a raw name.
It is such a great name.
The call out is raw. It's a stag beetle. I love stag beetles. If it's not abundantly clear, I love stag beetles. I love Kuga. I love Akito. I love Kawaga Rider.
Loves
Any
the
other beetle can
Kuwagatas.
fuck off. I do. But no. Let's just give him a giant turd on his arm and drape it over his shoulder with a little stupid trash bag cape and call it a day.
Does that mean you don't like do you not like the veil suit? Can I ask that question?
No, the veil suit works because it's meant for veil. The fact that
it's meant
stuck
to look
it on
shitty.
the demon suit, yeah. Well, no. Here's the thing. I wouldn't say it's meant to look shitty. It just looks shitty when they put it on top of a suit that doesn't match. It clearly was not meant to be that. So I don't understand.
It's a demons upgrade that was treated like a whole new writer.
It's just terrible. And then don't get me started on Imperial demons. They fuck up everything. They peaked. They made a great suit once.
It was a little sad to see that like the stamp little like toy images came out and it's just the spider stamp sounds.
I'm fighting for my life over here.
Toei might hate Hiromi.
I'm like so upset at how the fucking demon system turned out. Cause like it's cool, but no, let's just stick all of his upgrades over the base suit. They can't give my fucking mans a new undersuit, and I think that's what pisses me off the most. Cause I hate when they don't change the undersuit. And especially for this, because I feel like both chest pieces they gave him do not match with what the chest piece is trying to do, right? Yeah. And it's just, I don't know.
Especially with Over Demons. I love the Demon's undersuit, but I don't think the red of the Demon's undersuit works with Over Demons.
Also, I want to say, I felt so vindicated that they said they were going to repaint the beetle to be black, and I was right. Because that's clearly what it should have been, because it looks so much better. I feel vindicated, so shout out me. Shout out the recolors.
Shout out Jacob recolors. Hashtag Jacob edits.
He knows the hashtags. He knows there's 3 E's in the recolor hashtag. Or there's 4. I don't remember. I get confused sometimes. There was another thing in there. Oh, they called Veil was supposed to be proto-demons. That's stupid. Don't do that. I'm glad they didn't.
There's all that stuff where it's like, oh, you could have done this, and it's just like, oh my god, the demon system would have been so much cooler and better. And then there's other stuff that they almost did of like, yeah, 26 was going to be the end of Daiji's arc, and it's just like, okay.
I just don't understand any of it.
It's no longer the let him cook image. It's simply what was he cooking? You know, what was the goal?
I don't get. So I guess Julio was supposed to be killed off.
Oh yeah, I saw it. Like Julio was supposed to be killed by Oteka, and Aguilera was supposed to be killed by Gifu or something.
I think the show would have been better off, to be honest with you.
I mean, Julio's character was kind of wasted, so, like, yeah, you should have just killed his ass, TBH.
Now, you could argue me Aguilera. I could even argue myself on Aguilera dying, but, like... Because I feel like she's fine, but I do feel like her inclusion muddles the show a little bit with how much her arc... Because her arc with Sakura is perfectly fine, but it really does kind of just go on for a while. And I get that's sort of the point, you know. But I don't know.
It does kind of just feel like we liked people kind of ended up liking how Ren and Disaster ended up as a dynamic, so they wanted to probably do something like that again, but like throughout the entire show this time. That's how I see it. Because a common complaint of Ren and Disaster is that their dynamic kind of came too late and it was too short.
I think I've said this to you before. I don't actually know, but like I always thought their I like their dynamic.
I love it.
That straight off the bat. But like I feel like it just kind of comes and goes in terms of like when they focus on them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
I think when it comes to both that and this, it could suffer from the same reason of just like Saber and Revice have really big casts.
Yeah.
But the thing Saber has over Revice though is that at least Saber was kind of meant to have a big cast, because a lot of the times Revice doesn't feel like it was meant to.
I mean, clearly, if they were going, oh yeah, let's not make Hikaru this Kamen Rider. Instead, let's make it this random guy.
Let's not have all these characters be important. We should just have a lot of them die and just never be important.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of shit in Rider that pisses me off like that, you know?
Yeah.
It's weird, because there's, like, other stuff where I'm like, yeah, do that. Actually, no, I can't think of anything where I'm like, yeah, do that. I actually don't remember anything like that. But, you know, there's an interesting dichotomy of, like, stuff I wish they did, and then stuff I get told they wanted to do, but then they didn't do it, and I'm like, yeah, thank God.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's that weird, like, feeling of, oh, I could write this show better. But then it's like, could I really, if this is what they're coming up with, you know? That doesn't make sense.
And then there's, like, everything. Actually, not sure to refrain. I was going to say, after we just said maybe we hate on 0-1 too much on the show, I was going to be like, yeah, and everything they were planning with 0-1 is what they should have gone with instead of what they did. Ugh. One day maybe I'll relax on 0-1. And, you know, maybe I'll buy the comic that they keep giving us first looks at.
Okay. Dylan, if you still listen to the podcast, screw you! I know how comic solicitations work. Screw you! Eat my shorts! Bastard! Just kidding, I love you. But
I... Honestly, the tokusatsu industry gives me hope that I can be a professional graphic designer in the industry, because, you know, I don't have to be an amazing hand-drawing artist, because one of the, at least two of the 0-1 comic book covers is just a PNG I can find off of Google, put on a stock background, and slap the logo on it, and they said, yes, this is perfect.
I was talking with someone one time, and I won't name names for his sake. That kind of narrows it down, I guess. But I was talking with somebody.
I don't think that really narrows it down. I don't think you have any girlfriends, Jacob.
Okay.
The podcast is over. Yeah, what were we talking about with this friend of yours?
Can someone clip that? Can somebody clip that for me? Just, I don't care who. Just somebody clip it and post it to Twitter.
Well, what did you talk about with your friend of yours?
This might out him a little bit, but so he worked in like the industry of bringing toku over, right? And he told me one time that he had like a folder of like all these high quality rider images, right?
Ooh.
And he was like, I have the highest quality image of Kuga you've ever seen. Or it was Kuga or Decade, I think. It was like, or it might have been Decade as Kuga, actually. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it was something, it was along those lines, right? I just thought, and when I saw that comic cover of just the PNGs, I was like, they must have the same folder that he does. You know what else? Just talking about the Toku industry for a second. I agree with you. Not so much on the graphic design front, but it does give me hope that, like, I don't want to call them random fucks, because that sounds really rude. But, like, you know, I can just one day go, hey, can I write a Kamen Rider comic that's, like, 4 issues? Yeah, sure. There you go. I'm going to write the Demons one-shot, or what have you. But more so, I don't know. I've always wanted to write for Power Rangers, because I feel like I would go hard, but you know.
My moral dilemma with the 01 comic is like I want to support it because yes, the only way to let them know that we want more stuff in the West is if we financially support it. But like, I just don't care about 01. Like I really just wish it was any other season.
I feel the same way. I don't want to say to a certain extent. I don't know. Like,
especially with such a
like
even if I did like 01, I would still think it's weird with just how they set up the story of like it's in this weird spot like in the late 20s, early 30s. I think.
I thought it was after he gets Heat and Intelligence back. I thought that's when it was.
It's somewhere weird where they have all the characters because all of them die or some shit, whatever. But like it's
good writing decision.
And then the villain is just some guy who probably like is just there. Has
I'm not gonna lie though, he looks kind of raw.
He does, but I think it's kind of funny that like they kind of drew him as if he was a repaint of a suit, even though it's a drawing.
I kind of like that. I kind of like too that he has like a red 01 driver, and I hope that's like a nod to the fucking
the Chinese or is it Korean?
Yeah, I really hope it's a reference to that. If not, it's fine because I'll continue to think it is. Yeah. But like, if it's intentionally a red one because of that, I think that's really cool. Because it's like, oh, finally, all the drivers are in the show now, or you know, what have you.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's
a cool name though, Ragnarok.
Like, yeah, that movie was alright. Love and Thunder was terrible.
But yeah, the Toku industry is certainly something. Speaking of graphic design and posters, you know what's
do tell?
It's coming out 2 days from now.
What's in 2 days?
The TTFC Kamen Rider Sabella and Kamen Rider Durandal TTFC. I'm letting this be the final topic of today's cast.
I want to watch it.
I'm gonna watch it because I'm an unconditional Saber fan. But like,
I guess I'll watch
the absolute hellscape that was the talking about the poster in like the past week. Oh god. I'm still
the incest movie over
I'm
there.
low-key defending it to my death, but Toei is not making
defending incest?
No, because it's not incest. But and the funny part about it is that Toei is not helping. It feels like every time a Reika defender is like, guys, you're looking way too deep into it. Toei's like, have this trailer that makes everything look the way they see it.
You know that scene from Marriage Story? I don't know if you've seen this, but it's that bit of Adam Driver going, every day I wake up and I wish you were dead. And that's how I feel. That's how I think Reika fans are to Toei whenever they post shit like this.
And it's like,
every day I wake up and I wish you were dead.
The poster is just Sabella being held by Durandal in a wedding dress. And I think the posters, like, it looked visually cool, but then they released, like, I think it's, like, maybe a magazine photo for like, promotion or something about it, where it's Reika in her wedding dress holding the Noroshi, her sword, and I think that would have just worked way better if it was on the poster. It's just,
I'm gonna laugh when that movie ties in that movie. I'm gonna laugh when that special ties into outside.
It probably does, because Ren is the big guy that starts off the plot. I think
outside is such a weird anomaly.
It would be really, in one hand, it would be really funny at the end of everything after they solve the whole marriage plot. Ren is just like, oh yeah, by the way, there's like a guy who calls himself like a game god, and like, he's like a couple miles away. I have to go solve that.
What's the other hand?
The other hand is I'm fed up with Dan Kuroda.
Married to disaster.
I'm fed up with
Whoa.
Dan Kuroda. When I watched X-Aid back in 2016 and then rewatched it with my boyfriend so they could watch it for the first time, Dan Kuroda right next to Kiria was my favorite character in the entire show, and Dan Kuroda as a whole is one of my favorite villains of all time. Can they please give that man a rest? Like, I know he loves his role and probably wants to keep coming back, but like, can they stop?
I think I might have said this to you one time, but I know I've said it to some people, but I think it's fucking funny that the original Dan has been dead for like a few years now, and it's just copies of him that keep coming back. It's so funny that dude died. But no, his will just continues on.
Dan has
these random copies.
Dan has canonically died like 100+ times.
And I at least appreciate with this variation of Dan, it's a dude who didn't want to come back. Like, Guy was just so pissed off at him that he was like, fuck you, you're coming back. Like it's so... Oh god, the whole fucking thing is so weird. Like, I do like the concept of, like, I don't know exactly what they mean by outsiders, but it kind of feels like characters that were antagonistic at some point during the show. I don't know. I could see it also being characters that didn't get, like, a full, like, completion of their development, maybe.
They're outsiders in terms of their, like, they're an outsider to their main cast.
Because they were not well fleshed out by that series writer.
Takahashi Wolt. Hirobi was an outcast to everyone, and Ren basically made himself an outcast by choice.
Hirobi, terrorist. Ren, wanderer.
Ren, crybaby. I love him. He's my little crybaby boy. He's gonna cry about Kento.
Bitch. Should man up. No crying. We don't cry.
He did man up.
2022. Men shouldn't be allowed to show emotion.
No, now we're regressing as a society. Oh god, that just reminds me.
We should not allow our characters to be sad. Just like Kijino should not be allowed to love. Fuck him.
It's so funny just seeing almost every Jacob tweet has a QRT of just character regression.
You know, I'm going through it right now, alright? Or yesterday I was, rather. I'm fine now. I was just in a fucking mood yesterday. Why'd I go into my accent?
Yeah, I heard that. I was like, yesterday.
Yesterday. Because fuck, I don't know. Because, like, Kijino, I don't know why I'm fucking talking about this. We're just kind of rambling.
One day we'll talk about Dawn Brothers, and then Jacob will have a 10-minute rant about Kijino Tsuyoshi.
I will say, fuck you. Fuck you, Kijino. Not fuck you, Ghia. Fuck you, Ghia. Full-heartedly. If you're in love, go fuck yourself. You don't deserve
Free the homie Inu brother. He did nothing wrong.
He actually didn't, but then it's like, oh, well, you know, his girlfriend got stolen, so, you know, he has a right to be upset. Oh, boo-hoo! Maybe you should have did a better job at keeping it.
Honestly,
otherwise this wouldn't have happened.
You know what presents such a funny concept of that? Of just, like, Tsubasa isn't even mad at Kijino for how he's acting, but, like, Kijino just has to deal with, like, your wife wasn't real. She's not a real person. She never existed.
I love how it's like, I love how he's like, I get why he's pissed, because I'd probably be pissed for the same reasons. Like, oh, you're stealing my girlfriend, or my wife in this case. But, like, I don't know, man. Maybe she wouldn't have left you if you did a better job, you know?
Maybe she would have been. Maybe she would have been real if you were better.
Yeah, maybe she would have been not a fucking.
And, you know, it's so funny now because the one scene I thought about when all of that was happening is the scene all the way back in episode 4, where Momo is like, Kijino, this is the one and only thing you are better at than me. Yeah, the only thing you are better in than me is having a love life, and that is gone now. Kijino is officially the most pathetic member of the Dawn Brothers. He did it.
Yes.
I get
just like
so proud of him.
Fuck him. I'm glad. You know what? I'm glad he doesn't have love. He can be a better person now. He can go through what I go through.
He's no longer a male wife now. He's just male.
Yeah, he's just. I was gonna say he's just a wife, but that doesn't make sense.
He's just Kiji, brother.
Yeah, Kiji loser.
Always a brother, but never a husband.
You could always a brother, never a hugger.
Mm-hmm.
No, that doesn't.
But I think.
Hold on, let me check the time.
We're like an hour and 22. I feel like it's a good time.
I don't know.
Because
I don't know. I can bullshit more.
There's stuff to get done. Scarlet and Violet came out. I have to go discover those glitches.
Dude is ditching the podcast to game. I respect it. I was waiting for Red Dead 2 to reinstall while we were talking. Because I can't afford Pokemon.
Yeah, I hope everyone has a good weekend. I'm pretty sure we will. Next episode will be after Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
I don't know. We could grind.
We could try to have it on Thanksgiving. It depends on what happens.
No, I mean to be honest, we could record the day before because I don't have class that day.
Me neither. I think.
So we could do Wednesday if you want to.
We'll see. We'll see what the people want. I don't know what we could do for a Thanksgiving special. I don't know. We could talk about.
All right, let's level here. Do you think we'll really get comments on this episode other than Chris?
Chris,
it's usually how these things go.
Yeah, Chris, what do you want to see for Thanksgiving?
Chris, tell us. What should we do?
Yeah, do you want to see a 0-1? Do you want to see me talk about Ryu Soldier more? Do you want to see me talk about Ryu Soldier Love?
Are we gonna do? I don't know if we should do a hating episode on Thanksgiving. We should do an episode discussing a show we're thankful for.
Of course.
Get really cheesy.
Exactly.
Like 0-1.
I'll get on my knees in a thankful way and put my hands together and pray to the Toei gods.
Wait, isn't the special coming out this weekend?
Wait, what special?
The incest one.
I don't know. I if we're talking about what we're thankful for, I don't know if we should talk about that.
Well, I'm just saying, it's a family affair, so I mean, it would be, it's a good.
An affair of a non-romantic high.
I don't know. It'd be nice. Nice little get together.
Toei never makes things easy.
My dad on the podcast.
But yeah, if we don't have an episode on Thanksgiving or it's just the weekend again, I hope everyone has a Thanksgiving. If you don't celebrate it,
I meant
have a great day.
I didn't mean releasing it on Thanksgiving.
if you don't celebrate it, just have a great great weekend.
I don't know. Enjoy your Black Friday.
Stay safe. And if you work retail, I'll pray for you tonight.
I guess I will.
I'm not even that much of a religious person, but I know working retail during Black Friday is hell.
I just pray on the downfall of others.
But yeah, we've been College Boy Taisen. We'll see everyone next week. Bye-bye. Remember?
Good Bankai.
Goodbye. Bye.
I like having these bits at the end where it goes over the credits,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just keep going. I'm gonna stop now. What did I just say?